We're going to react to Chase Jackson winning the 2026 Indoor World title. And we're going to start right now.
All right, let's get into Chase Jackson going 2014 to win the Indoor World Championships. Let's look at this video. Let's see what she's doing specifically. Let's take some notes and actually try to learn from her movement patterns here, okay? So she's got this classic slide here. So if we look right here, she's always been stable right there. She went 2014, had this on the lockdown pretty much after that second throw. Now, I always like to pay attention to where she puts her left foot. This is something, too, I wanted to talk to her coach, Paul Wilson, about. If there's a specific spot, what they think about there with the placement. Now, one thing I want to look at here is that left knee relative to the left foot and that left hip. She does a good job there, and she puts that down. Now, I like to look at her left heel. Okay, pay attention to her left heel. So right there, she's very level with the left arm. The left arm leads outside the left knee. But what I'm looking at is I want to see that heel height. Okay, so we're looking at that heel height right here, and we're still pretty much in line with that foot, with the knee, sorry. Now, you can see when she's even picking up here, look at that position there. Okay, so the left hand is outside. A lot of people might be nitpicky about that, but you're looking at that outside the knee a little bit. I want to point out this. Okay, she's getting this position with a push, right? So we're seeing that develop here with a lower left foot. I actually wanted to go into a little video about that importance of that lower left foot, because I think when you have more ground contact, you end up having a more stable base there. Now, as she opens, look at the left foot. She's directly in line with the middle of the sector, right? Now right here, long right leg, left arm's here. And if we go right here, she's pretty much, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go right here. If we look at this position here, okay, that's sort of where she's entering. This is where her hips are as she's entering the circle. I did want to point out that I always like to pretend there's like this invisible wall behind your heels. And it's like, where are your hips when you're entering and when that left knee breaks the wall? And I think like she's dialed in with those hips being open. Long right leg right here. Enters in. Comes off the left. Grounds right here. Stacked on the right. And she has gotten way better at this position. You know, for a while you would watch and that left would be landing outside the board. She's cleaned this up, like made tons of growth, which is why she's so freaking good and stable and beating the best women out there. Right here, grounds, left foot is in line with the knee. You know, that's just right in line with that left knee, right? And then as that gets to the front here, she stays, dude, I want to go back and just point out that left arm right here sort of stops on her. Right comes in and grounds, left comes across.
Athletes out there, a lot of you guys are struggling with what you're doing. It's the track season. You're trying to think through, what can I do to increase my technique? How much strength training should I be focusing on? What about my plyometrics? What drills should I be even doing? And these are all different factors that we'll provide for you directly when you sign up for our training at throwsuniversity.com. All you guys have to do is head over to throwsuniversity.com. You can find custom programming. We just had 3 national champions at this year's high school nationals for New Balance for the women's shot. We had 2 middle school national champs, one of whom won it on his last throw. And you guys, if you're a middle schooler watching this, you want to develop long term. You want to become as good as you possibly can. Now is the time. Middle school, high schoolers, college athletes. If you need that help, now's the time. Head over to throwsuniversity.com. pick up the program, pick up a technical analysis, and we want you guys to commit long term. We want to see you develop as long term as possible, so that one day you can be an All-American, one day you can be a state champ, or one day you can just throw as far as you possibly can. Now, let's get back to Chase Jackson.
It's like this clear rewrap right there, right? Boom. And that gets moving while she has the rewrap. So then the left shoulder stays here. The left knee is going. And I also want to just go back and point out, like, I don't necessarily think you have to have a low foot, but your foot shouldn't be above your knee. And she keeps it dialed in. I think, like, this is literally where you need to be, right here. She does that. Joe does that. I don't think it should get much higher, but that's really good. And then this is the kicker right here, right? Shoulder decently back, left foot's down pretty quickly, and shots back behind the foot. So she's hitting this position right here, left's fast, really well, and then just comes through with that hip, boom, into the shoulder, and then that wide left right here, dialed in, comes forward. I want to point this out because a lot of people will complain. More women tend to jump, and I think it's because they're absolute animals and the shot's so freaking light, and I think this is perfectly fine. We got to think about the speed of release, the height here. She's moving so fast across the circle, and then this is where that left foot grounds, right? That's where her left foot is. She comes forward on it, ends up saving that so well. And then we can see right there. Right there's the shot. Boom. So, going back, I think there's a couple big takeaways for everybody that they can really focus on with Chase is like how she opens in double support so well. Left heel doesn't need to be crazy high. Push this way. So that's the first thing. Where you at? Around the left. Notice she's balanced and long. Balanced, long. You got to be stable. Then when you ground, stacked on the right, left foot under control. And have a good wrap. Stacked on the right, left foot under control. Good balance. And then catch the implement right here. Shoulders stay back. Shot back behind the foot. And then just slam it. You know, like that's how you buy into your technique. That's how you compete so well. That's how you win multiple world titles. Great job. Congrats to Mitch, to Chase, to Paul, everybody. Great work over there. Keep crushing it. Congrats to Chase on this indoor title. That's huge.